Hello guys, blessed Sunday. It is the weekend before our next Sabbath, which is Beltane, hence the flower crown. If the lighting goes a little wonky, I do apologize. I'm using my older phone to record, just because my new phone, I'm not sure about the storage on it, and I don't want to take a chance and record, and it cuts me off, and I got to redo everything all over again. So I actually just got back not too long ago from a beautiful, lovely, magical afternoon on this weekend with my amazing community witchy sisters. I am part of an organization here in Ottawa called Around the Goddess. We're the circle weavers. So we organize the Sabbaths in the community. So all of the Sabbaths, Astara, which is the spring equinox, Samhain, summer solstice, Lunasa or Lammas, Beltane, Imbolc, the winter solstice, and Yule. All of those, we organize the rituals and the gatherings together. Obviously, with COVID, they've all been on Zoom. We've only managed to do 3 in person so far. We did Mabon, which was our first in person since COVID started, and then we did Samhain, and then we did Imbolc. Yes, Imbolc. The spring equinox, which is a star, that one was on Zoom because it was part of a graduation ceremony for witch school. And then now we'll be doing Beltane, but we'll be doing Beltane through Zoom as well, just because cases are kind of rising, and we don't want to take any chances in our community. So hopefully at some point, one day, we'll be able my allergies are bothering me, so if my voice goes in and out, I'm sorry guys. Hopefully one day we'll be able to get back into community and actually celebrate in community with one another. So with that being said, we made beautiful flower crowns. That was our afternoon of magical creations. We had some tea and some coffee and some beautiful snacks, and obviously you have a bunch of witches together. There's going to be some chatter and conversations as we were creating our beautiful masterpieces. It was my first time making a flower crown. It was amazing to see everybody's flower crowns and how they fit their personalities and their energy and their spirits. I know mine throws you off because you think Beltane, it's, between spring and summer. It's kind of the early starts of summer kind of coming in. And my wreath is black and white, as you can see. Some black roses, some white flowers. I'm going to add a few finishing touches to it this weekend. I want to add some black feathers to it, and I want to put just like some twigs in it. For me, the reason why I went with these colors is it's, the balance between light and dark, right? So for me, that's what it is. It's, the whole, transformation and stuff like that. And that was, when I was creating this, that's what was speaking to me at that time. So that's what I went with. So who knows, maybe I might make a different one for next year. I do eventually want to put some pieces of bone and stuff in there as well. So it represents me. So, but yeah, I'm just going to take a sip of my tea. I'm drinking some lovely pine and chaga tea. So, obviously, this little video is, I'm just going to be talking a little bit about Beltane, what Beltane is. Beltane is from the 1st to the 2nd. The 30th of April is Beltane Eve. So there's usually festivities kind of throughout that weekend. Beltane Eve, Beltane, and then it kind of carries over into the 2nd of May. It's one of the, so I'm reading my notes from my laptop here. So it's one of the 4 quarter-day festivals. It's a fire festival, so it's the return of, the fertility of the ground. So like it's, abundance, fertility. There's a lot of hand fasting that kind of goes on for Beltane. So the word Beltane it roughly translates to bright fire. So it is one of the most important rituals, which still goes on today in modern festivals. They call it May Day. So there's the lighting of the Beltane bonfire. Fire was seen as a purifier and healer. And you would have walked around and danced and jumped over your community and farmers and your village and stuff. They would have walked around that bonfire. They would have danced around it. They would have jumped over it. It's like all part of the fire ritual. It's as it's a cleanse and protection and stuff like that for when they're putting them out in the fields and stuff, for them to go graze and stuff, the cattle and stuff, right? So, and then us, it's the same thing. It's that whole cleansing of what no longer serves us anymore, whatever we were working on and working through during the darker time of the year, to make room for coming into that brighter half of the year. So bringing in all of that new abundance of creativity and things like that, and fertility and stuff like that. So it's celebrated with foods, drinks, stuff like that. Flowers, planting and stuff like that. Like it's a good time planting ideas, things like that, tending to them, with the fire, because it's the fire festival, right? So you're feeding it more, like, to make it manifest, colors associated with Beltane are, like lush greens, bright spring colors, yellows, purples, blues. It's a time when We hold like horticultural and fertility gods and goddesses, in high esteem, more than normal, because this is the fertility time, right? Um, some of the gods and goddesses, are Gaia, the triple moon goddess, the green man. Um, there's dedicated rituals, prayers, and spells to them that you would do, to worship. Um, so that way, we reap um, all the abundance and stuff. Um, so it's like the preparation for the summer solstice. So we dedicate, the rituals, the spells and prayers, um, to them, um, you know, so that the worshipers, may reap, the abundance come Lithia, right? So come the summer solstice. So this is the time that we put all that energy in. So when Lithia, which is the summer solstice, comes around, we're now, you know, reaping in all that growth and the abundance of that growth and stuff, right? Um, so Beltane is a time when the maiden goddess, or the May Queen, has reached her sexual maturity. Um, you know, um, Soil is a physical manifestation of her. So the soil that we plant our seeds in is, um, the physical manifestation of, the maiden goddess. Um, the Green Man, or the May King, falls in love with the maiden goddess. He then wins her heart and asks for her hand in sacred marriage, like I was saying about the hand fasting. So it's, like it's the ancient Greek. It's let me see if I can pronounce it right. Heros Gamos. I apologize if I'm not pronouncing it right, which is the ancient Greek for holy marriage. It's one of the major causes for celebration for Beltane. Um, and again, like there's several ways of celebrating Beltane, and the wonderful union between the May Queen and the May King. Um, you have setting up your altar, so you can set up your altar for Beltane, with like the fresh flowers in the Beltane colors, like we were saying, like the vibrant greens and yellows and purples and stuff like that. Even some seeds. Um, and always keep in mind too, I just want to say this in case there's any new witches that might be watching. There is no wrong or right way to set up your altar. You set your altar up to what feels right for you. Some people don't even change their altar for the Sabbath, which is completely fine as well. I mean, honestly, some of us don't have time, we're working full time, whatever. And some of us just don't feel the call to change our altar. I apologize if you hear yelling in the background. That's my crazy family downstairs. I don't really like per se change my whole altar because I'm in my bedroom. There's not a lot of space, and you know So I will add, you know, things to my altar for Beltane. Um, just for me, it's a lot. And this is my working altar as well, so I do my witch work here. So it's just a lot for me to continuously try and change, and I work 40 hours a week. I've got a family. I'm doing courses online. I'm also part of a community to bring in all of the Sabbath. Like, there's just not enough time in the day for me to also do this and change this 8 times a year. So I will add um, accents here for Beltane, you know, and stuff like that. So or whatever other holiday it is. That's generally what I do. But again, like I said, you do what feels right to you. It's your sacred space, so you make it fit for you. It's your practice. You make it fit for you and what works for you, right? So, um, sorry, just give me a sec. Um, so, going on with, you know, kind of what like a typical Beltane altar would look like. Light brown. Um, sorry, I have a busy house. Um, so light brown and light green candles are a great way to incorporate a fire element to your altar. If your space doesn't allow for candles, you could also use a small cauldron or a fireproof tile. Um, you know, so that can bring in some items for your altar. Um, you know, you can go up to, I don't know, I'm pretty sure everywhere in the world has like a dollar store. They just might call it something else. But you can get beautiful like silk, like green vines, you know, so you can put some green vines around your altar. You know, that kind of brings in some green and some little silk flowers. Super simple. You don't need a lot of money, you know. Um, I've got 4 kids. I don't have a lot of money, so I'm a witch on a budget. So, um, you know, don't forget to include elements to symbolize the May King and Queen. So these elements include acorns, antlers, and seeds to represent the May King's fertility. Circular objects such as a ring or flower wreath represent the May Queen, which is why I want to put some. I mean, obviously, I would love to get my hands on some antlers. Obviously, that were ethically um, sourced, you know. Um, but this is why I want to put some beautiful like twigs in my wreath to kind of represent the making as well, right? Um, so yeah, Beltane is also known as the celebration of fairies in certain religions as well. You know, so feel free to include fairy garden plants or figures to your altar. Flowers for this particular holiday include daisies, tulips, um, uh, forsythias. I know I'm not pronouncing that right, but I tried to write down a couple of flowers that I could find. Um, there's another flower here I can't pronounce. I'm not even going to try. So Beltane crystals include garnet, uh, matchalite, malachite. I don't know why I said that, bro. I'm tired. That's what it is. Malachite, garnet, rose quartz, emerald, um, Beryl, Tourmaline, Fire Agate, Tiger's Eye, Carnelian. Sorry guys, give me one sec. Lucius, can you close your door, please? And then Beltane colors. Sorry guys. So Beltane colors is green, red, white, yellow, pink. So just to touch bases on like some Beltane rituals. So one of the most fulfilling things about practicing and celebrating our Sabbath, so whether it, you know, you're Wiccan, pagan, you know, or if you just, I'm an eclectic, so I kind of, I take from both. Like I follow some practices from Wicca, but I also follow some from paganism, and I incorporate my own. So, but it's the ability to personalize, you know, your own rituals and your own prayers. You know, you can adjust them to whatever, you know, calls to your soul. You know, remember, you know, there's no like set prayer to follow, you know, no set rituals to follow. Like nothing is set in stone. You do what, you know, your soul, what your energy and your spirit feels that it needs to do for that particular Sabbath, you know. And some people don't even celebrate all 8 Sabbaths. You know, they might only celebrate, you know, Samhain, maybe the winter solstice, Yule, and maybe the summer solstice. You know, some may only celebrate Samhain and the winter solstice, like, and some don't celebrate any of the, you know, the Sabbaths. You know, it to each his own. So, some of the well-known deities across Beltane, to include in your prayers. Shh. Sorry, guys. Sydney, can you close your brother's door, please? Yes, Mom. I told both of you guys I was filming, man. Wait, what? Close the doors. Sorry. My apologies. Okay. Good Lord. That's what happens when you have 7 people in your house. You can never find a quiet time. So, like I was saying, some of the deities across for Beltane, to include in your prayers, you know, are, I always mispronounce this particular, Kronos, Cernunnos, it's Celtic, Flora, which is Roman, Hera is Greek, Bes is Egyptian, Pan is Greek, Bacchus is Roman, I don't even know how to pronounce this one. You know what? Let me see, because I don't. This one is Zulu, so I really don't want to mispronounce how to say this particular one. So let's actually look it up.
Baba Mwana Wersa.
Baba Wana Wersa. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. It's Zulu. Um, there's obviously other, there's some other gods and goddesses as well. Um, then obviously, like I was saying, cleansing, rebirth, and renewal, which is the religious Beltane fires, right? So the beginning, so on the evening of April 30th, the May King and King will stand on opposite sides of an unlit bonfire. Um, so this is obviously if it was part of like a coven, right? So the priestess and the priest will introduce them to the crowd of participants, then light the ceremonial bonfire to begin the ritual. You know, blessings and prayers are often repeated during this process. Um, you know, you have the courtship, the May Queen and King run in a clockwise circle. Do keep in mind that it's a joyful courtship. You know, the running is meant to be coy and, you know, flirtatious and stuff, right? Um, this is a consenting relationship, obviously. Um, and the consent should be clear to all participants, you know. So um, this is kind of like some of the history of rituals and stuff that was done for Beltane. So as the two begin their courtship, the drummers and the clappers will begin their music. You know, it should begin with a slow tempo, then gradual increase in speed towards the middle. After completing 3 rounds around the bonfire, the ritual ends in an abrupt with the meeting of the May King and the Queen. So then, you know, the high priestess and the priest will then ask the May Queen and King to proclaim their love for each other. After such, you know, proclaiming, you know, of their love and honor and stuff like that, the May King and Queen will then share a kiss, right? You know, do not feel pressured to turn this into a, you know, a big, you know, whatever. Like, the kiss is just symbolic of the union, you know, between the May King and the King. You know, although if the participants are willing, then, you know, it's fine if you want to be more intimate, so to speak, with your kiss. It's basically what it's saying here. So concluding their ceremony after the symbolic union, which is, you know, the kiss, the high priest and priestess, you know, will declare the Mother Earth fertilized. This is where the drummers and the clappers are then beckoned to join in dancing and celebrating around the bonfire. These fires are burnt all through the night until the sunset of May 1st. So that's like kind of one of the like older rituals, you know, for Beltane that they would do, especially if it was like if you're in a coven, right? So I mean, you know, if you have a backyard and you're able to have a bonfire in your backyard, you know, you have the pits, you know, you can buy the metal pits. You can do one in your backyard and just, you know, have some of your like-minded community, family over, and you guys can do the same thing. You know, you can dance around your, you know, your Beltane fire pit, you know, in celebration and singing. There's lots of Beltane music that you can find on Spotify and stuff iTunes. I have more luck on Spotify for more like ritualistic music than I do with iTunes. Um, and you can play it in your backyard if you're comfortable and you're out of the broom closet, so to speak, and laugh and talk and just build all of that like energy and fertility energy. Don't think fertility energy of like conceiving a child. It's fertility is just everything. It's the ground being fertile and you planting the seeds in the ground. Um, the fertility of new growth, new ideas, new ventures, new journeys, new paths, like all of that. It's not necessarily conceiving a child or the union of like being married. It could be a union and a partnership for a business or anything like that. It doesn't necessarily mean marriage. So keep that in mind too. So if you have some of your witchy sisters and you guys are all new to the practice, invite them all over, and this could be something that you guys are doing together because it's the first time you guys doing it. This is a new journey, it's a new path, and so this is all new, which new is, it's all rebirth, it's all fertility, it's fertile because it's all new to you. It's something that's growing and brewing, and do you know what I mean? The idea is just everything, right? So you can invite your witchy sisters over, and if you're able to have a little bonfire in your backyard, in your fire pit if you have one, then do that. And you guys, everybody kind of brings some foods, that I'll get into some foods that represent Beltane, and your music and your drinks, and then each of you guys can maybe write something to bring in that Beltane fertility, creative, like rebirth energy, and you could also do something that you want to let go of as well, because we're out of the dark, the darkest time of the year now. We're out of there. We're coming into the bright and positive time of the year, right? So, you can do a simple, fire ritual, fire spell of, you write down, and if everybody is comfortable to, you speak out loud what you want to get rid of, what no longer serves you, get rid of it, and you burn it in the fire, in the Beltane fire, and then you now have what you want to bring in, for Beltane, what you want to manifest, what you want to give that fertility energy to, and you can burn that in the fire as you're chanting it out as like a coven, so each person take their time and go and say what they want, to bring in for Beltane, and what energy they want to work to, and everybody just chants 3 times with whatever that particular witch wants, and then you go to the next witch, and then they say what they want to manifest and what they want to give, what ideas and things that they want to give that fertility, that energy of that fertility and that abundance to, and then everybody does the same thing, and you just go around your circle of sisters, and it just, you create that energetic cone, right? And it swools up and swishes up into the universe, and then it releases it, and then you guys have tea and wines, whatever you want to drink, and food just to kind of bring you back down and ground you, and laughter, and the dancing, the music, the drumming, everything, the clapping, everything. You can do that. It's just, it's an amazing, festival. So, I'm excited for when things get back to normal, where we can actually do it back out in the community, because it is quite one of our larger rituals. And we have a maypole and everything, and we do the maypole, and it's really good. And so hopefully next year we'll be able to do it in person. So obviously all of our Sabbaths we always have a feast, right? You can't celebrate without food and drinks and stuff. So um, so some of the like animal products, if you eat animals, um, to honor for Beltane is, meat, fish, dairy, and honey are all great choices for your Beltane meal. Um, Obviously, if you're vegan, go ahead and skip these ones. You know, there's other vegetable options, which I'm a vegetarian, newly vegetarian, my choice. Um, it will be 13 weeks tomorrow that I've had zero meat. So no chicken, no fish, no beef, pork, no meat whatsoever. I do still drink milk. I still eat eggs and honey and cheese and things like that. So, which is why I'm a vegetarian. I'm not a vegan. So, so seasonal fruits for this time of the year is what you want to eat. So um, the freshest produce available to you. Try supporting local farmers. That would be even better. I try to do that a lot, especially in the summer. I'll go down to the market area here and some other ones out in Orleans. Sorry, guys, I'm just going to shift because my foot's going to sleep here. I try very hard to support my local farmers, my local witchy stores. If you watch my channel, I always advocate as much as possible. Try and support your local metaphysical stores. So like your witchy stores where you would get all your witchy stuff. Try to support them as much as possible. Support your local farmers. If you do eat meat, try to support your local butchers as opposed to buying in like big grocery store chains. Greens, root vegetables, mushrooms, herbs, apples, they're all really good choices for Beltane foods. Preserved foods from the fall harvest, jams, pickles are also really good, right? So cooking anything, obviously, over the fire. It's a fire festival, people. Hello. So cook that fish over the fire, cook that chicken over the fire, cook that beef, that pork, that goat, lamb, whatever that meat is, cook it over that Beltane fire. Get that Beltane energy in there, that fire energy in there. Your vegetables too. Do your grilled vegetables. Grill your vegetables over the fire. Char that meat. Smoked cheeses. If you have a smoker, smoke some cheese in there. And hello, marshmallows. Roast some marshmallows over that fire too. Get the kids roasting their marshmallows in the fire. Get the kids involved, because children represent fertility, right? And rebirth, their children, right? So this is a really good festival for them too. Get them involved, with making crafts, making wands and, making flower crowns. You can even do one for to represent the gods, with just like antlers and twigs to kind of represent antlers. And do you know what I mean? There's some little sweet treats, like oat cakes, are really good. I've made these once before, um, which they go really, really good with, you know, like cheese and jams, smoked fish. So you can have like an oat cake with some, you know, herbed cream cheese, you know, with some smoked fish on it. Um, there's also a Beltane bread that you can make as well, um, which, you know, usually it has like, I don't know why I'm like stuttering. Anyways, some of them have fruits and nuts and spices in them. Um, I particularly don't like a lot of fruit in my breads. I'm very particular what type of fruit is in my breads. I despise raisins, can't stand them, and like currants and all those things, can't stand them, will never use them in a recipe. You know, but I'll put like apple, so you can maybe grate some nice apple, you know, or pear or something, and you can put it in a bread. It's really good. Um, you can find a recipe online. It's a honey wheat bread, and it has a honey butter to it. Oh my god, it's so amazing. Um, some other you know, desserts, obviously, like cakes, you know. So when you're doing your cakes, just think like honey, citrus, like citrusy type desserts, you know, like lemon loaves and orange cakes, or like a lemon cake, or like a combination of like different citrusy fruits. Um, Fruits, nuts, and spices, you know, they're all good. So if you're making a cake or anything like that, kind of keep those in mind. As for drinks, um, mead, wine, um, you know, like herb concoctions, cocktails, you know, like mojitos, you know, and stuff like that. If you're doing like for non-alcoholic beverages, infused waters. Um, I've done where I've had pitchers with cucumber and rosemary. So I just put a couple of fresh twigs of rosemary in a jar, like my water pitcher, with some nice, beautifully fresh cut cucumbers, and I leave it in there, and I let it infuse, and then I'll do one with apples. So when I slice the apples, I'll slice the apples widthwise, so you get a perfect pentagram in the apple. So when you cut the apple widthwise, um, so it comes like a big round circle, and you'll see where the seeds are, it actually makes a perfect pentagram in the middle. So I'll slice the apples, and I'll mix it like between like green and red apples, and I'll put the slices in my water pitcher, um, and then I'll put some mint sometimes, or I'll put cinnamon sticks in there with a couple of pieces of star anise, and maybe one or two pieces of like allspice, and I let it sit, and it's kind of almost like an apple pie kind of flavored water. So you can do different herbs for, I've done watermelon and mint, so I'll put some chunks of watermelon in the water with some mint, fresh mint leaves, and you just bruise the leaves up a bit and throw it in. Amazing. Um, Lemon and thyme is really nice too. Um, and then, like I was talking about the maypole, so the maypole dance, it's famous throughout like England and Germany. It's celebrated on May 1st. The tradition dates back to the ancient religions. Back then, they used to dance and plait the ribbons around whole trees. Um, there is an agreement between historians that the maypole dance originated as a fertility ritual in Germany. The custom spread throughout Great Britain through passing of generations and travel and conquering and all that stuff. There is a similar festival celebrated by the ancient Greeks known as Flor Florali Florilla. I apologize if I'm not pronouncing it right. Because this one I didn't know about. So they would dance around the pole or tree, cleaned of its leaves and branches, often wrapped in garlands of ivy and violet instead of ribbons. Um, so this particular holiday falls on the 28th of April for the ancient Greeks as part of their spring celebration. The other thing too, so we're in the northern hemisphere, so we're celebrating Mabon. In the southern hemisphere, they're celebrating Samhain. So they're coming into their darker months now. So depending on where you live when you're watching this video, blessed Beltane, blessed Samhain. So planning in advance obviously is an essential step to the maypole dance. The first step is to dig a hole in the appropriate depths. I don't know why I said depths. A maypole can range anywhere from 15 to 20 feet. Participants will often bring their own ribbons. The ribbons measure the same length of the pole, and the more colorful, the better. So running out of ribbons in the middle of the maypole dance is a very disappointing feeling indeed. So you want to make sure it's the same length. So the ceremony of the maypole, I've yet to participate in that. So participants are often single young adults. The young adults wear flower crowns to represent the May Queen and King. The maypole itself represents the symbol of male fertility. The ribbons woven around the pole are an actualization of the love and warmth provided by the female. Of course, your maypole activity doesn't have to confirm this, right? This can be a family-friendly activity without any mention of its history. So this is, I'm just speaking of the history part of it. So I mean, you can still do a maypole a maypole ritual, you know, where it's just, you know, welcoming in that love, you know, and togetherness and all of that stuff, right? And, you know, so everybody is doing it, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be the single people, right? So you're just doing it as an activity without the history part of it. So when every participant has arrived, attach their ribbons to the top of the pole, sliding the pole vertically into the prepared hole. Don't forget to pack dirt around it so it doesn't topple over on unexpected participants. Keep extra ribbons around in case somebody forgets theirs. So always keep ribbon around if you are doing this, just in case somebody forgets. I mean, we've all done it where we've forgotten something that we were supposed to bring. It happens, right? And try to use as much color as possible. You know, the more colors, different colors, the better, right? There are, of course, plenty of variants to plaiting the ribbons around the maypole. More complicated maypoles will achieve a weave that resembles a May basket. So kind of the under, over kind of thing. Keep in mind that an intricate weave will make it difficult to unwind after the dance is over. So just keep that in mind, right? For, you know, when you're unpacking, unraveling everything. It is tradition to have live music playing in the background for the maypole dance. If you don't have access to that, you could also use Germanic folk music or anything that falls within the Morris dance music category, which, like I said, if you go on Spotify, you can find a lot of playlists for specific Sabbaths. So I actually have a Beltane playlist playing very, very low in the background here if you do hear it. Um, so, um, so these dedicated musicians specialize in playing instruments that were popular 400 years ago, which is why they say it. Which, you know, that includes the pipe and tabar, I believe is how it's pronounced. And then it, you know, gets into talking about, like I was saying, about the hand fasting. Um, you know, since Beltane is a celebration of the May Queen and King's marriage, many Wiccans choose to hold their own weddings during this magical time, which is known as hand fasting ceremonies. There are those that disagree with this practice. Those oppose believe that hosting a hand fasting ceremony at the same time is completely against the May Queen and King ceremony. So there's always that, you always have that kind of division with the whole like right and wrong thing, like I was saying before, right? Um, which is why, like, again, you know, there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer, you know. Um, so it's always advised in Wicca that rules and ceremonies are sacred and tailored to an individual's need, you know. So it's very individual, you know. So it's for that person themselves, which is why, like I said, again, there's no wrong or right. It what feels right for you. If there's like a main piece of advice, you know, or teaching even that I can give you is there's no wrong or right. It what feels right to you. So if it feels right to you, then it's right because it's your practice, it's your belief, you know, it's your altar, it's your ritual, it's your sacred space, it's your spell work, it's yours. You make it fit you. That's like number one. Um, so, you know, for those wanting to have an alternative to traditional organized religion weddings, hand fasting is a great way to do this. So, um, so hand fasting, at its core, is a couple declaring their love for one another in a non-legal setting. So just remember, there's no marriage license, right? So you're not legally married during a hand fasting. Um, so it's not. It doesn't meet like your state or your government's approval, right? Because it's not a legal binding document saying that, you know, you are Mr. and Mrs., right? This is something that's done. It was the old way of doing things, you know. Um, you know, back then for like, you know, old rituals and stuff, so that, you know, didn't want to be married in a church and all of that stuff, you know. So they did the hand fasting. So um, there there are ways to host a hand fasting ceremony while still having a legal marriage in the eyes of the law. Um, it depends on the person, you know, leading the hand fasting ceremony, right? These days, there is plenty of easy access to become an ordained minister online without any religious attachment. You know, so one can always find someone that fits the criteria of an officiator. You know, so you would just need an officiator to perform the hand fasting if you were doing a hand fasting instead. Um, so, um, so again, you know, from hand fasting cakes and personalized vows to bonfires and drum circles, hand fasting gives plenty of freedom to the couple to create a ceremony that's meaningful to them. Um, so, uh, I don't. Um, so again, planting. You know, planting is a good ritual that you could be doing to bring in Beltane. Um, you know, so you need like seedlings and all your gardening tools and stuff. And which again, kids love gardening. I know my kids love gardening, so you know, you would get your kids involved to doing that. Planting prayers, you know, get them to come up with some planting prayers. You can find planting prayers, obviously, online to bring in for Beltane. Um, you can even do like a baskets, you know, if you're really, really crafty, you know, you can create baskets, right? There's so much you can do. And there's so much information that you can find online for it now too. Um, just to bring in Beltane. You know, there's Beltane readings you can do. You know, you can do a tarot spread for Beltane to show you, you know, I've got one here because I have a beautiful oracle deck that works with the energies of Beltane, which is the Seasons of the Witch Beltane Oracle. It's a beautiful deck. I've only been working with it for a couple of weeks now. But there's a beautiful Beltane cross spread here. The Beltane card spread. So, what did I? There's a Beltane cross spread. So, it looks like the Celtic cross, if you're familiar with tarot or oracle cards. So the first card would be, you know, your current energy. The second card is sacrifice. So what is currently in your way of success? Card number 3, the flower crown. What has caused this situation? Card 4 is ribbons. What do you need to be aware of? Card 5, surrender, a past situation that is influencing you. Card 6, the phoenix, what is likely to happen in the near future. Card number 7 is milk and butter. That's what they call it. What is your attitude about this situation? Card 8, oracle. What guidance do you need the most right now? Card 9, B. What possibilities are available to you? And then the final card, which is card 10, fertilizing. What is the outcome of this situation? There's a maypole spread as well. So the maypole spread, it's 4 cards. Card 1 is what is preventing you from seeing the blessings in your life? Card 2, what do you have to be grateful for? Card 3, what do you need to do to have more positive perspective? And then card 4, what lesson are you learning right now that will benefit you in the future? Then there's a flower crown spread here. Card 1, what caused the situation to manifest? Card 2, what can I do to make my situation easier? Card 3, how can I avoid the situation from happening again? Then card 4, what else do I need to know? Yeah, there's a beautiful goddess spread here too, which literally looks like the phases of the moon. How they do it, I love it. So it's a 7-card spread. How will this person or thing positively impact my life? That's the first card. Card 2, what is likely to happen if I take this path? Card 3, what am I hoping to gain from this person or thing? Card 4, what do I need to know most about this situation? Card 5, why am I having doubts about this person or thing? Card 6, what is likely to happen if I pass on this person or opportunity? Card 7, how will this person or thing negatively impact my life? So this spread here, it says the goddess spread will help you gain clarity when you're considering a person, thing, or opportunity. And then the flower crown spread is you're always manifesting, even if you don't know it. The flower crown spread will show you why you are in your current situation, how you can come out of it, and how to avoid it moving forward. The maypole spread is we all have blessings and things to be grateful for. So allow the cards to show you how you can shift your perspective and start focusing on the good that's in your life. And then the Beltane cross spread. The Celtic cross spread is an all-around tarot spread that can be used in nearly every situation. The Beltane cross spread below is the Celtic cross reimagined using themes specifically related to Beltane. Each card position, except card 1, is named after a card in the deck. If you feel called, you can read the meaning or invocation of the corresponding card for the future guidance. It's a really, really good deck. Like I said, I've only been working with it for a couple of weeks. There's also one here. It's a creation spread for starting something new. You know, get ahead of any potential obstacles with the creation spread, which is excellent for when you are starting a new project or working out an idea, and particularly useful for new jobs and relationships. And it's just a 6-card spread, right? And then it gives you all of your cards. It's beautifully, beautifully designed deck that works with the energies of Beltane. So, you know, like I said, you can do a Beltane tarot spread, a Beltane oracle spread, or combine the two just to see the energies, you know, and your manifestations, you know, what you may need to, you know, bring in, or if you're wanting to create something, how is that going to play out, or, you know, or just realizing, you know, all the positive things that you have in your life. You know, sometimes we just need that little kind of nudge, like, hey, you know, you woke up this morning, you're alive, you know, you have a job, so you're working and able to provide for your family, or, you know, you have a family, you know, you have a loving family, you have a loving spouse, you know, or a partner. You know, those are all things to always be grateful for, you know, and acknowledge that you have those positive things in your life. Sometimes we lose track of that and we forget, you know, because we're always like, oh my God, I don't have this, or oh my God, what am I going to do? Or, you know, we're always focusing on the negative aspect of things that, you know, we don't have, or, you know, because that all these doors keep closing on us. Well, every time a door closes, there's always another door that opens, right? So, you know, that door closed for a reason. You know, there's a reason why that door closed, you know. So we always want to, you know, be grateful for the lessons, you know, that we learn, and grateful for the things that are consistent in our life, that's positive and brings us joy and happiness and love and, you know, fertility and abundance, right? So take a step back, you know, and look at the things in your life that bring you that energy, which is, that's your Beltane energy. So, and just show your appreciation for it. So, I'm always grateful every day. I wake up every morning and I always send out into the universe, you know, thank you for allowing me to wake up to another beautiful day. Thank you for allowing me to go to my job, you know, that provides for my family. And, you know, thank you for another day spent with my husband of 30 years who I adore with all my heart. You know, thank you, you know, for my beautiful children that are in my life that, you know, bring me so much joy and laughter and love, you know, um, you know, and thank you for the beautiful sisters and brothers that I've met on my journey, especially since I've started this journey and this path. I've acquired and embraced so many people that are like-minded like myself. It's amazing. And some people I haven't even met in person yet. I've just met, you know, through my YouTube channel or my IG or, you know, different witch groups that I'm a part of, and we talk, and I consider them my sisters because we talk all the time. You know, it's just, I'm grateful for it. And I wake up every morning and I say thank you to the universe for, you know, these people coming in crossing my path on my journey, you know, and hopefully, you know, we'll be able to go on that path together and just, you know, talk and bounce things off each other and just communicate and, you know, who knows, maybe one day eventually meet. So, but yeah, that's, you know, the energy for Beltane is just, it's amazing. So I love it, the energy, because it's that fiery energy and creativity energy and stuff like that. So on that note, I thought, let's pull a card for Beltane and see what card the universe has for you guys for Beltane, which is next weekend. Super excited. I actually have a very full weekend next weekend. I have my son's birthday party because we had to reschedule it. It was originally supposed to be today, but we had to reschedule it. Long story, would just rather not get into it. So we're doing it on Saturday, and then Sunday I have my Beltane ritual. So yes, that is me, busy bee, always busy bee. I'm all over the place all the time. All right. What card does the universe have for our lovely viewers for Beltane? Split, middle card. Ooh, okay. Looks like we have some love spells going on. All right, so the little incantation that says, that's on here is, let the honey of your soul swell in the depths of love. So this is the card for you guys. And let's read what the card meaning is before we sign off. So that is number 21. Alrighty, so all spells should be approached with clarity and an understanding of the outcome you are seeking. Love spell guides to find a deeper understanding of your ethos and your guiding beliefs. What do you truly want out of life? What do you need to feel whole and fulfilled? What causes your heart to swell in the depths of love? Knowing what you need is the first step towards embracing it. The universe is ready and willing to fulfill your dreams, but before it can do so, it needs to know without a doubt what those dreams are. Pulling love spell means you are ready to establish your system of beliefs and the sacred principles that will define all of your choices moving forward. If you are asking about love, then this card guides to be clear about the type of love you're seeking. If your question is about success, this card urges you to seek clarity about what success means to you. Whatever your question is at this time, pulling this card is an invitation to gain a better understanding of yourself and your intentions. So again, making sure, you look really deep inside, what is it that you want? What is it that you want to manifest? Because this is the energy and this is the time for you to do that. This is the time for you to be sure of what it is that you want, what it is that you want to embrace, what it is that you want to, what path do you want to walk on? If it's love, like, what is it that you want? Like, what are you seeking? This is the time to be doing that during these festivals, this time of year. This energy, working with this energy of Beltane. And yeah, so that's what the universe is telling you. The universe is telling you to look within. Look, what is it? Ask yourself, what is it that you want, that you're craving, that, that you want? It's telling you to look and ask yourself what it is, and then go for it. So yeah, without ado, that is a little bit about Beltane and some different historical information on it, with like the hand fasting and things like that, some different ideas to do. Obviously a little Beltane reading as well for you guys. And yeah, I should hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have my April boxes in. They seem to be running late this month, so which is weird because usually the first box I get is my Witch's Moon. It is in Canada, so I'm hoping either tomorrow or Tuesday that it'll be in. So hopefully those will be in, and we'll have some unboxing videos to do, which I'm super excited about. I did change up a bit back here. I put a new tapestry up that I got in one of my boxes. I'll just tilt my camera so you can see. Beautiful triple goddess symbol. And I put up my beautiful goddess chimes. It's a wind chime, and it's got little goddess figurines here and some crescent moons. So I put those up. I did want to put them outside because I didn't want them to get ruined. I'll show you a little closer. I'll take my camera for a walk. And there they are. See? Beautiful goddess. And then we have the crescent moon. So, and it's all the way on my ceiling. I don't know if you can see it. There it is, up there. Yeah, I put that up last weekend. So, and then I just got to figure out where I'm going to put my other tapestry that my daughter got me. So, but yeah. All right, guys. I have some other stuff I got to do. So until next video, I hope you have a wonderful and magical Beltane. I love you all. Blessed be. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and give my video 2 thumbs up if you like my video. And again, my comments are open. Feel free to put a comment down below. What are your plans for this Beltane? What are you doing for Beltane? Either by yourself or with your coven or your community or family. Put it in the comments down below. Let me know what you're doing for Beltane. I would love to know. I just noticed I have this green leaf sticking out here. That looks kind of weird. There we go. But yeah. And yeah. I love y'all. Blessed be.